What is shaking, y'all? Welcome to my channel. My name is Shelly, and this is the intro video to my YouTube channel. So if you are here, thank you for tuning in. I am glad to have you. In this intro video, I want to talk to y'all about 3 different things, and I want to start off with, first of all, telling you a little bit about myself, my background, where I come from, and a little bit of my story, so you know a little bit about me. Number 2, I want to talk about what we're going to talk about. So what exactly is going to be on this channel? What kind of content am I trying to bring you all? And number 3, why? What is my why? What is the purpose of this channel? What am I doing here? Why am I in y'all's face? Okay? All right, so without further ado, let's get started. But we need some music. This is called Good Vibes. All right? Can you hear it? I try not to play it too loud because I want you all to be able to hear me. All right, I hope that's good. We'll see. All right, so like I said, y'all, my name is Shelly, Shelly with an E-Y. I got some friends that call me E-Y. You can call me SoulSisterShelley because I've done a whole lot of soul searching. First thing I usually get asked when people meet me is, Shelly, where are you from? And I get that question often because, I guess because of my accent. I think I have a little bit of an accent. It's not as nearly as thick as it used to be, but it is an accent nonetheless. I'm in the United States, for those of you watching somewhere else around the world, which is really, really awesome. So glad to have you here, but I am in the United States, but I'm not just in the United States. I have lived in several places on the eastern side of the United States, and I even got you all a map so that I could point out the different places that I'm from. Okay, number 1, I was born and raised in West Virginia, okay? We call it back here in the States, West by God, Virginia, and I wouldn't change that for the world. It is a small state in the United States, and it is such a great place to grow up. It's a beautiful state, and it's just super, super humble beginnings. It's a mountaineer state, so shout out to my mountaineers. If you're on here and you are from West Virginia, please comment below and let me know. After I graduated from high school in West Virginia, I left and I went to Kentucky. I went to the University of Kentucky, go Cats, my freshman year of college, and all my family is from Kentucky. So shout out to all of you in Western Kentucky. Hi, fam! Down there in Benton on Slickback Road, near Kentucky Lake and near the city of Paducah. So wouldn't change that for the world either. Wonderful people, humble and kind, down to earth. Couldn't ask for a better family and a second place to call home. After I went 1 year at UK, I transferred back in state to West Virginia, and I went to Marshall University, the Thundering Herd in Huntington, West Virginia. So go Herd, that's my alma mater. And I got my degree from Marshall University. I have a degree in psychology with a minor in communications. Imagine that, communications. I'm kind of a talker. That's not really why I did it, but I'm sure that doesn't surprise anybody, especially for those of you that know me. So then I graduated from Marshall, and I went overseas for a little bit. So for those of you that are from Holland or the Netherlands, I lived in Amsterdam, right outside of Amsterdam, a little town called Almere, and I lived in Zwolle, and then I lived in Belgium, in Mons, for a brief period of time. Came back to the States, and I landed in Alabama. All right, so roll tide. I lived there for about a decade. That's where the accent comes from. So to all my sisters and misters down there in the Crimson Tide country, hello, hello, hello. I miss y'all. Job transfer made me leave Alabama, and which I loved living in the South. And I ended up in where I am now, which is Ohio, the great state of Ohio. And that's where I live now, is in Ohio, north of Columbus, Ohio, in the center of the state. And in the entire time I've been in Ohio, which has been about a decade, I also lived in Florida. I took a brief period of time, and I lived in southern Florida. So I said I made y'all a map, and I truly, truly did. More than anything, I find this really, really cute and really funny. I colored them. But for those of you who don't know West Virginia, wherever in the world you are, even if you're in the United States, some people don't know where West Virginia is. Some people say, oh, I've been to Western Virginia. it's like they've been to Western Virginia. I'm like, no, West Virginia. It's a whole state, I swear. So it's this one right here, this little one. Here's Kentucky. Go Cats. Here's where I live now, Ohio. All right. And then down here, look, I colored Florida teal. It's, it's beautiful down there. Got the oceans and the beaches, the Sunshine State. And here is Roll Tide Roll, Alabama. So there you go. United States, that's where all I've been. So 5 different states for those of you who are counting. So that's a little bit about where I have lived. I do have 2 children. I'm a single mom. I have 2 kiddos. One is 20 and one is 8. So, yeah, y'all do the math. That's a whole story for a whole nother day. That'll probably come up on the channel. All right. With that being said, I have a background mostly in sales and teaching. For about 10 years, I was in sales coming out of college. I've sold copiers, I've sold real estate, I've sold insurance. So I did sales for about 10 years. And then how I got into teaching is I started volunteering at a place that was a 501(c)(3), a nonprofit, where I was counseling pregnant teens and women with unplanned pregnancies, because I was one of those people. And so I got into that, which evolved into me speaking in the high schools in Ohio, teaching relationship education. So I did that for a while, and then I got a substitute teaching license in Ohio, and then I went ahead and got a Florida teaching license. So I have a Florida teaching license that's K through 5, and I substitute teach K through 12 in Ohio. All right, a little bit about me. Hope that didn't bore y'all too much, but that brings me to current day. So this channel, I'm going to talk about the content on this channel, but I'm going to talk a little bit about why I'm even sitting here right now. Because as I said, I was a teacher. And on March 13th, when COVID came, we had to clearly close down the schools. And March 13th, which was Friday the 13th, weird, I know, right, was my last day in the high school. I was in the high school that day in the county in the city I live in. And that was my last day of school, and I'll be honest, I came home that day, y'all, and like many other people, I imagine, I was like very confused and overwhelmed, and honestly for several weeks depressed, and a lot of anxiety, like what am I going to do now? Not only did the schools were closed down for the rest of the school year, but then summer came, and so I didn't have work for the summer either. And everything else was closed as well. So I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. I'm just locked up in my house. And I went through that for a few weeks until April rolled around. And I kind of just to be honest, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I just got sick and tired of it. So I came down here to where I'm sitting right now, which is my basement office in the house that I've lived in for 7 years here in Ohio. And for 7 years, it was never used as an office, just to be completely transparent with you. So I came down here and I started like dusting off shelves and books and printers and desks. And I kind of created myself a think space. Right behind me here is my bookshelf. It's covered, with this black, it's not really a sheet, but it's covered because it is like completely loaded up with books and all kinds of sentimental things that are important to me. So as to not be distracting, I went ahead and covered it. But so yeah, now this is my office space. And in that time, while I wasn't working, I just really seriously did some really serious soul searching. And here's the thing, it turns out I had a whole lot of stuff that was broken. And a whole lot of things that were going on with me that I was so busy with life and being a single mom and caught up in, chasing the almighty dollar and just trying to make ends meet and so on and so forth, that there was so much that I was not dealing with, stuff that I was not currently dealing with, things from my past that I hadn't dealt with, things from my childhood that I had not dealt with. So long story short, I just started to dig deep and just try to fix what was broken and put myself back together again and fill those voids. And I am happy to say I wouldn't be sitting here right now if it wasn't a long, hard journey. But in the last 6 or 7 months, things have really, really changed. So that is why I'm sitting here. And with that being said, that leads me to my next point. Point number 2, what am I going to cover on this channel? Well, just about everything, y'all. I mean it. I mean that. Now, I will say I am a big believer, a firm believer in like a holistic approach, and you know, mind, body, spirit. Mind being your soul, mind being your you know, mind and soul being your intelligence, your like the emotional aspect of you, and the mental aspect of you, and in the physical aspect of you, your body. So mind, body, physical aspect, like eating right and exercising and putting good in so you get good out, that kind of stuff. And then spirit. So whatever your spirituality is, I'm not condoning any specific spirituality, but if you know your higher power, God, the universe, Buddha, whatever you think is bigger than you, that helps you make sense of life, we're going to tap into that a little bit as well. Which really leads me to my why. And I'm going to try to not let me cry. My why, I always say, does your why make you cry? And if your why doesn't make you cry, then it's not your why. That's what I say all the time. And my why does make me cry. But that is what I want to talk to you about. And that's the most important part of this intro video. Why am I doing this, y'all? What is my purpose? Why am I here? And that's really the $1 million question. Why am I here? Because the fact of the matter is, there's no really good reason for me to still be sitting here, like literally vertical, breathing and smiling. I will share with you all on this channel 3 specific incidents where I absolutely should have never walked. I shouldn't have walked away from. I should have never survived them. And a whole lot of other experiences in my life, trials and tribulations that, you know, I look back sometimes and, you know, it's almost like I'm just like shaking my head. Like, what? Like, did that happen to me? Or was that a dream? Should I write a book? What? But at any rate, and that is why I'm here. You know, when I was doing this soul searching over this time that we have been, you know, the whole world has shut down, I just started thinking a lot about what I wanted to do with my life, with the second half of my life. What kind of legacy did I want to leave, and what kind of example did I want to set for my children? And I started thinking about, you know, some of the things that I've been through, and that I'm still standing and I'm still smiling. And then I started thinking about like how our whole world is in such we're in such a state of, you know, anxiety and depression, and people being lost and confused and overwhelmed, and I know how that feels. I know all too well how that feels, and not just in these past 6 or 7 months, in the last, like, you know, 2 to 3 decades of my life. I know how that feels, and when I think about it, and I think back to my journey, and I think about how that feeling is, and that the other people, we're all human, people have to feel that way. It's heartbreaking to me. It's absolutely heartbreaking to me to think that there are people that need somebody to just give them some direction or lift them up or inspire them. And I can tell you firsthand that I would have, you know, I wish that I would have had the tools and the knowledge that I have now, because I truly believe we all deserve happiness, y'all. I just think it's just our birthright to be happy. So if you are listening to this and you don't think you deserve to be happy, or someone has told you that you don't deserve to be happy, or you don't think because of your circumstances or what's going on in your life right now, you don't think that you ever will be happy, please, please, please stick with me, okay? Because I will do everything in my power to make sure that that is not the case. Because I often think, like, why are we unhappy? And you know, who wakes up in the morning and just says, like, you know, hey, I don't want to be happy today, or I don't want to be happy with my life. Like, who would ever sign up for that? Let's just be logical, or like, let's just be real. All right. I think a lot of times the reason that we're not happy, or people aren't happy, is because we don't know how to achieve happiness. We don't know how to get to the happiness, get to that happy place or to the other side. We don't have the tools or we don't have the strength or the ambition, or nobody's telling us we can, or lifting us up or helping us along that journey. And so I am here to be that person. My purpose in life, my purpose for this channel, my goal, the goal in my life is to make your life better. That is my goal in life, is to make your life better. I want you to live an abundant life, a life that is filled with happiness, and I want to be the person that helps you achieve that in some way, shape, or form. So if any of this is resonating with you, if you need some direction, if you need some inspiration, if you need some motivation, if you need to know that you are not alone, that somebody understands, that somebody's been there, I am going to make sure that I try to touch on not only every aspect of my life and my journey that has taken the wind out of my sails, but the people that have been close to me, who have confided in me and who I've helped along the way, who have given me permission to share their stories, or may even have them on the channel with me so they can share their stories with you and give you some hope and some inspiration that if we did it, you can do it too. That is truly, truly my desire for you all. So with that being said, I don't think I left anything out. I do want to let you all know that I am going to try to post. I am going to post every Wednesday. I was thinking about posting every Wednesday and every Friday, but I think for right now, maybe I'll just do the first Friday of the month, which this week would be this Friday. So I am going to post Wednesday. On Wednesday, it's going to be the second half of the intro, because when I sat down and was trying to write down like what would be the content on this channel, what will I talk about, I started making a list of some of the things that the hurdles in my life or obstacles I've overcome, or stories that, maybe I could share that might help somebody. And when I got to like a dozen, I thought that's just too much to put into an intro video. Like right now I'm looking at it, I'm already at 17 minutes. So on Wednesday, in the second half of my intro video, I'm going to share with you all, basically I'm going to like run down the list. Like if this has happened to you, or this has happened to you, or this has happened to you, or this has happened to you, like, hey, guess what? Been there, done that, check, 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 check. So if anything I've said today has resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, and from what I understand, hit the notification button, because the notification bell will notify you when I post new videos. And like I said, I'm certainly committing to being here for you all every Wednesday. And this week on Wednesday, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been through and some of the things I've overcame. And then we will go from there, y'all, because like I said, all I want is for happiness. All I want for you all is happiness. I'm going to leave you all with two things that I had to be able to share before I got off this intro video. And they're two pieces of advice that I got from my grandparents, which their picture is sitting on my desk right in front of me right now. Like they're right here with me looking at me. And my grandmother used to always say, you got to play the hand you're dealt. And isn't that the truth, right? We don't get to pick what life throws our way, right? And you just got to play the hand you're dealt. So, Graham, thank you for that piece of advice. You just got to play your hand you're dealt. So it's basically like she was trying to tell me acceptance. And we'll talk about acceptance on this channel. And then my pap used to always say, the only sense you can make out of life is sometimes the only sense you can make out of life is a sense of humor. So on this channel, just so y'all know, there will probably be some tears, because I think tears are good for you, and there will be some laughter, because I like to cut up and I like to joke and I like to act a fool. And on top of that, laughter through tears is my favorite emotion. So there might be some of that too. There will be. I can promise you that there will be some of that as well. There'll definitely be some laughs. That's a fact. So with that being said, I am so glad that you all have taken your time to join me right now in this moment and get to learn a little bit about me and what this channel is going to be about. I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. I always say there are no strangers that I know. There are only friends that I haven't met yet. So hi, friend. And truly, 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 all I want for y'all, and this is from the bottom of my heart, all I want for you all is a life full of peace, love, and happiness. See you soon. Bye.